first light of dawn revealed the edge of the forest, where the ground was freshly torn apart by rooting boars. The tracks were deep, leading straight into the trees, and we knew a large herd had passed through just hours earlier. Moving slowly, every branch and every rustle seemed louder than usual, but the anticipation pushed us forward. Suddenly, shadows began to move between the trunks, and the silence broke with the sound of heavy hooves. Shots rang out as the herd tried to scatter, but the forest paths slowed them down. By the end of it, the clearing was still again, and the ground was littered with signs of the battle. Have you ever hunted close to dense forest like this? Leave your stories in the comments. And if you'd like to see extended cuts of this hunt, join our members section for exclusive access. The wide-open fields after harvest are deceptively calm, but that morning we found the tracks cutting across the stubble. Boars had been raiding here for weeks, and the farmer was desperate for relief. We set up on the ridge and watched as movement stirred near the far tree line. When the first group broke into the open, the chase began. They ran fast across the field, but there was nowhere to hide. Each shot echoed through the open land, and the herd scattered in all directions. It was quick, brutal, and necessary to protect the fields. What's the most open terrain you've hunted in? Share your experiences below. For a full breakdown of how this field chase unfolded, join our channel's membership and access unseen footage. Old barns tell stories of the past, but sometimes they hide trouble in the present. We entered cautiously, the floor creaking under our steps. The smell of animals was strong, too strong for a place that had been empty for years. Then it happened, movement in the shadows, and a massive boar burst from behind a pile of hay. The sound was deafening inside the wooden walls as we fired, the echo bouncing back at us. More followed, crashing through broken doors and windows, desperate to escape. The barn stood silent again when it was over, but its walls bore the scars of the struggle. Have you ever had a hunt take place indoors or in a tight space? Tell us about it in the comments. For exclusive behind-the-scenes content from this barn encounter, join our members group today. The marsh was wet, thick, and unforgiving. Every step felt like dragging through quicksand, but the tracks ahead were fresh and clear. Wild boars had crossed here recently, and the mud told their story. We pushed forward, knowing the swamp would slow them down as much as it did us. Suddenly, they appeared on the far bank, and the chase was on. The water splashed, the mud churned, and the air was filled with the roar of panic and shots fired. It was a hunt unlike any other, testing endurance as much as skill. Have you ever faced the challenge of swampy terrain on a hunt? Drop your experiences in the comments. For extended marshland footage, raw and uncut, consider joining our members-only section.
Domuzun geceki izinde şu anda bir tane köpeğimiz aynı izden geçti. İkinci köpeğimiz de aynı izden yol olarak köpeklerimiz izlere girdi.
High up in the mountains, the air is thin and the silence is heavy. We had been following a herd along a narrow ridge, where one wrong step meant disaster. The path twisted and turned, the cliffs dropping away on either side. Then, from around the bend, the boars appeared, powerful and fast, moving with surprising ease over the rocks. We took our shots carefully, the sound echoing far into the valleys below. When the hunt was over, the ridge returned to silence. But the memory of that moment remained sharp and unforgettable. What's the most dangerous terrain you've ever hunted in? Share your story in the comments. If you'd like to see the full uncut mountain footage, join our membership community today.
Tüfek at İlhan abi, tüfek at! At tüfek at! İlhan abi, tüfek at, tüfek at!
Bir dakika abi.
The orchard looked peaceful at first, rows of old trees heavy with fruit. But beneath them, the ground was destroyed, torn apart by rooting boars that had claimed it as their feeding ground. We set up quietly, waiting among the branches. As night fell, shadows began to move, dozens of them. They came in silently at first, then the noise of feeding filled the orchard. At the signal, the shots rang out, and chaos spread through the trees. Branches shook, fruit fell, and the herd scattered in every direction. The orchard stood quiet again under the moonlight when it was over. Have you ever hunted in a place that seemed peaceful but wasn't? Share your stories in the comments. For exclusive night vision footage from this orchard hunt, join our members-only content section. Thunder rolled in the distance as we set up for a night hunt. The sky was dark, lightning flashing across the horizon. It wasn't long before we heard the heavy steps in the wet grass, the herd moving fast and restless. Hunting during a storm adds another layer of danger, but the conditions also mask movement. When the first boars broke through the clearing, the shots mixed with thunder, and for a moment it was impossible to tell which was louder. The rain came down harder, the chaos lasting only minutes before the field went silent once more. Have you ever hunted through a storm? Share your most intense memories in the comments. If you'd like to see the full storm hunt with every detail, join our membership and get access to exclusive videos.
Bahadır.
Aşağıdakiler. Aşağıdakiler.
Tamam. Domuz gibi. Ne gibi aşağı dediler ya.
Selami bütün üstüne çıkacaklar. Selami çıkacaklar. Selami az daha aşağı gidiyor. Selami az daha aşağı gidiyor. Çıkıyorlar Selami. Selami çıkıyorlar, dikkat et. Selami çıkıyorlar, evet. Selami hazır oldu. Acele etmeyin, yaklaşsınlar. Hadi Selami solunuzdan geçiyorlar. Selami solunuzdan geçiyorlar. Selami solunuzdan geçiyorlar. Koş derenin ağzına. Dur Selami önüne çıkıyorlar. Dur Selami. Selami dur önünde. Selami önünde. Selami önünde.